CacheMachers is a nonprofit STEAM education center and community makerspace based in Logan, Utah. Here, youth from grades kindergarten through 12th grade can participate in discovery learning and hands-on experiences focused on the principles of science, technology, engineering, art, and math. They create fun things and make exciting discoveries in the makerspace. The group is attached to the National 4-H program as well as USU Extension. We were asked to help with the redesign of the CacheMachers website. The primary issues with the original site was that it did little to draw the attention of new members and was disorganized. Therefore, our main goal was to create a website that really showcases CacheMachers and all of their resources. Here is a basic outline of the steps we took to create the site redesign. To learn more about the usability of the old CacheMachers website, we each did a series of user tests. We began with over-the-shoulder observations and think aloud user tests with the original website so that we could see and hear firsthand what various users thought and struggled with in their interactions. In doing this, we discovered additional problem areas to consider and received user feedback that supported our client goals for redesign. Here we have graphed the results of one of our 5-person user tests of the original CacheMachers website. There was some of the most common complaints or issues that they had with the website. We have taken this data and incorporated it into our redesign. The issues that arose from user testing supported the need for redesign and informed us in setting goals for what we needed to change. Every user at some point said, "I have no idea what this site is even about." So goals that we had established for redesign to address and fix the problems found on the original CacheMachers website were these. We wanted our final product to improve user experience by making the website easier to use and by having the information organized and easily accessible. After coming up with our design goals and receiving data from our first user tests, we began with our redesign. The first step in this process was to create our prototype. This video shows what was created in Adobe XD. We used this prototype to repeat more user testing so that we could integrate any more needed changes to create our final prototype, which we will cover now.
As Rachel mentioned, we conducted our user testing in Adobe XD. But soon after gathering feedback, we began using Weebly to create our final prototype, as shown here. To accomplish CacheMachers' goal of making its website more user-friendly, more visually appealing, and more inviting, we ended up spending more time designing the homepage. There are a few key differences between the original website homepage, as shown here, and our final prototype homepage, as shown here. One of the updates this page received was a redesigned navigation bar for even more ease of use. Based on our card sorting and our user testing, the main headings and the subheadings were reorganized to make it easier for users to locate what they needed. Home is now the first that's listed, as well as the appropriate tabs What We Do, Get Involved, Resources, and more. Along with the navigation bar, the entire home page was redesigned. We followed the counsel from Krug in his book Don't Make Me Think, and made the information more readily available so users can scan the information on the page instead of searching for a while to find the information they need. In our last round of user testing, Liz, a mother of 6 kids ranging from elementary to high school, said that her first impression of our first prototype was that it was unclear and vague as to what CacheMachers does. She had to scroll through the page and then eventually go up to click on the link What We Do to find a video that showed her what CacheMachers does and the description of the service that it provides. She mentioned that this took too long, and she would hope to spend only a few minutes to find the purpose and description of CacheMachers and the service it provides. With this feedback, we made adjustments, such as adding a link that takes visitors to the What We Do page more easily. When the user clicks on the link, it takes them directly to that page, which shows a little bit more information, as well as a video that describes the experience that their kids will have there. Upon clicking on the Home tab, they'll go back to the home page. With this feedback, we made adjustments as well to the pictures that we have on the home page, as well as describing specifically what a makerspace is. The last thing we added was current events for that coming week so that parents could know what their kids could be involved in. Another feature that we needed to improve was where to put the registration tab. Liz, along with our other users, felt that it was also unclear how to register their children. Along with the original website, it included the registration under the More tab, but it wasn't titled Register, it was simply titled Fall Classes. So to make it clear, we decided to use the word register, since that was the actual word that users were looking for. We have other features that have been redesigned, and Haley will now take you through them.
All right, so here is a little bit more on our redesign. This is the Get Involved page, which is a major part of our navigation bar. Here are the sub-menu items, which the major differences between the old site and this new site is that we've put donate next to volunteer, and we've incorporated a newsletter sign-up item. Here on the old site, you can see that donate was in the first spot on the old navigation bar, and that newsletter sign-up was right here underneath it. And from our user testing, we discovered that they didn't really like this placement because they felt like they came to this website not knowing much, and then all of a sudden it says donate. And they weren't very inclined to want to donate or to want to sign up for the newsletter. And so for this reason, we have moved it to down here in the Get Involved tab. And so as we scroll through this page, here you will see testimonials, Teen Youth Council, 4-H, and then donate and volunteer. And these directly relate to what we have in our menu, our sub-menu. And this was intentional on our part because we wanted to have multiple links to the same place in our website. And this was so that users could have different ways of getting to the information that they wanted. And so let's just take a look at the 4-H program page. Now, in order for people to participate in CacheMachers, they have to enroll in 4-H. And so on this page, we have a little bit of information on 4-H enrollment. Here, they can read this, and then they can watch this video to help them learn about what it takes to be involved and to get enrolled in 4-H. And so that is our Get Involved tab. Now we will go over to resources. And our resources page is something that we really wanted to showcase from the youth members to the adult mentors. There is something for everyone. There's resources for everything that they do. And on this first page, we have incorporated all of the different items or equipment that they use. And again, these link to the menu items, and fully intentional on our part because we really wanted users to be able to get to the information that they wanted or that they need, that they were searching for. And so multiple ways to get to the same place. And down here we have training, which again, same deal. They link to the same pages. So let's take a look at 3D printing. Here we have incorporated one of their resources, and this is an image of their 3D printer. Here's 3D printer information. And then underneath all this, we have different resources that are involved with 3D printing. And these are fully interactive, so people can click on these buttons and go to the resource to learn more about it and to understand what it is and how to use it in relation to 3D printing. And so as they scroll through, they'll see, similar things. And then down here, again, all interactive links. And just to give you a little idea, here is the old 3D printing website or web page. We've used the same image, and so the difference comes with the information. All of this information is the same information that we've incorporated on our site. However, we've just formatted it differently and gave it a different layout with more interactivity, more colors, more images. And so there's that. And I'll just show you real quick one of these other pages. Here is the For Youth page. And again, these are just ideas for kids, resources for kids to come up with things to make at CacheMachers. And there's just a lot to offer. All right, so moving on, we'll go to Contact Us. And now this page we wanted to be very simple, very straightforward. We have the address, phone, and email. with a Google Maps image down at the bottom, which shows the locations of the CacheMachers facilities. Now, in conclusion, we feel that our redesign successfully meets all of the goals that we had as we began this project. We have included a better description of CacheMachers. We've reorganized the layout. We've showcased what CacheMachers is, how to get involved, and the different resources that they have. And we've also included more pictures, more colors, and more interactivity on each page. And therefore, we believe that our redesign really showcases the CacheMachers organization, and we feel that it will draw more attention from the community and that more people will want to get involved because of this website.